Hello and welcome to the fastest car of the week. We've driven a few cars this week in Assetto Corsa and we're going to see which one's fastest. We're going to start off with the Ford Mondeo touring car from the VRC Tourers pack. If you're unfamiliar with this kind of mini-series I used to run, I haven't done it in quite a long time, but we're going to bring the cars down to my test track, the Pudsey Street Circuit in Leeds, and we're going to send them round for a lap. I always do one kind of out lap, one practice lap, and then one full send lap. So here we are on the full send lap on board with the VRC Mondeo. It's actually called a Fortis Mondo, I think, but we all know it's a Ford Mondeo. And I actually have a 90s BTCC car already on the leaderboard, and that's the Volvo S40 by I think it was a Patrick Marek mod, so we'll see how it compares to that. That was a time of, I think it were in the 141s if I remember rightly, so we'll see what the Mondeo can do. But we come out of this section now, a very tight twisty section, a very bumpy circuit as well, so these kind of stiff racing cars always struggle a little bit with that. I always do minimal kind of setup changes to these cars. The only thing I'd really change is the tyres. I always make sure they're on the softest compounder tyre available, just to try and kind of even everything out a little bit, just to make sure all the cars are on at least a similar-ish tyre compound. But yeah, we carry on then, and we come out the junction for the final run, and we're looking for the yellow stripy lines on the road. That's where the start-finish line is. My practice lap were a 1:43.1, so we'll hope to shave a couple of seconds off that, and it's a 1:41.0. So we'll see where that puts it on the leaderboard at the end of this video, but I think it did actually beat the Volvo. We'll see. Anyway, on to the next car, the Subaru Impreza WRC that I drove in Dirt Rally 2. This isn't the exact same car, but it's near enough, so yeah, we're going to send it round and see what happens. Now, being a rally car, it has very short gears, so yeah, it might not have the best top speed, and it is a bit of a power circuit this, so that might not help it, but you can brake so late into the corners, and it has such a ridiculous amount of grip with that four-wheel drive as we go back up the main road then, as we look for the left-hander going down into the Asda section of the track. Normally you're braking at that first kind of that sign, I guess, but you can brake really late in this thing. This long right-hander can catch a few cars out. Normally the rear steps out, and those curbs mostly are what upset race cars, but this being a rally car, you can really muller these curbs in this car. So yeah, my practice lap was a 1:46.0, so a couple of seconds off actually the old touring car. I would have thought a kind of more modern rally car would be quicker, but then again, this is a street circuit rather than a rally stage, so who knows. It does feel a little bit slow as well, does this, compared to the actual rally car in dirt. But anyway, we come into the junction then, really send it round. We could have probably carried a little bit more speed through there, but we'll see what happens as we come down the final straight then. And this thing actually has an actual H-shift gearbox, so it's quite hard to get the gear shifts right when you only have a sequential shifter like I do. I don't have a H pattern, but anyway, this is where it's going to lose all its time, down this kind of main straight. We're looking for the yellow lines. It's a 1:42.6, so a good second and a half slower than the touring car. That is a bit of a surprise actually. I'd have thought this thing would be a little bit quicker, but yeah, there you go. Let's move on to the Aston Martin DBR9 from my my video with all those old GT1 cars. Yeah, let's send it round, see what happens. Now, this thing has 625 horsepower. Down this first section of the track, it's just going to absolutely muller the other two cars. I'll be very surprised if this isn't the fastest. It's not the best into the roundabout though, but we kind of take a double apex, short shifting out there because it's very slippy on the exit of that corner, so you've got to be quite careful, otherwise the rear goes round as we Faint left then, braking just after the signpost in this thing, and kind of a bit patient on the downhill left-hander, a lot of understeer there, and so again the car can catch the car out. Be careful of that little curb on the exit as we come into Asda 1 then, and slow it right down for the tight right-hander of Asda 2 as we sprint back up to this kind of mini roundabout, and we're going to go on the tight left-hander into another tight left-hander out of the tight kind of Asda section of this circuit. It's a sprint now up the B road. You should be flat in most cars as you faint right, faint left. It does test the aero though as you're looking to brake just about where the guardrail starts into the junction, and we go around the first corner, and then the next corner really tightens up on you as well. And now this is where we're going to gain all the time, unleashing that 6 litre V12 engine right down this straight, and this time's looking good already. This could possibly be a new record. We'll have to wait and see. Looking for those yellow lines on the track, and there it is, a 131.6. I don't think it's quite a new record for this circuit, but we'll have a look then on the leaderboard and see whereabouts we come. So there we are. The Aston Martin DBR9 was the quickest with a 131.6, and then you have the Ford Mondeo BTCC car. It was 9/10 quicker than the Volvo S40, so maybe it was just a better lap, because those two cars should be around about the same. 9/10 seems quite a big gap, but then you have the Impreza there with a 142.7, which was quite surprising actually. I thought it'd be a bit quicker than that. But yeah, no new record then. It's still held by the Ford Transit Supervan, and then we have the Peugeot, the 908 FAP, which is second behind that. So we'll see what happens in the future. I'm going to try and keep this updated at the end of each week with all the different cars I drive on this channel. But yeah, it's just a little bit of fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.